Sports Radio 810 WHB. Thank you very much for joining us. Stephen St. John, Nate Bukaty, and Jake Gutierrez on this Red Friday. Yes, it's snowy and it's white outside, but it's still a Red Friday on Sports Radio 810 WHB. So thank you for spending your Red Friday morning with us. And so we mentioned earlier a triumphant return of Listen or Lose coming up in the next segment. Are you, how do you feel about that? You guys excited about that, or is it?
I'm good.
Dreading?
I mean, I like the effort all week. We kind of had it running in the background, and the fact I'm done. So that's, I mean, that
you're checking out,
right? I'm good. I mean, usually I'm still scrambling my.
Is it going to be funny?
Yeah.
Because it's been a while.
Yeah, it'll be funny. Usually,
we sat in Holmes Fever, you know, we couldn't be.
We took a break. We, we tried some other segments.
Supply and demand.
Looked around some other segments, but now we realize that we like the segments. We could go back to the segment
for now.
And no questions about the other segments. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Leave them alone.
We decided to get back together with this segment after we
try to make it work.
We'll see.
Turns out this segment wasn't so bad. Let's try to make it work.
Turns out this segment won't talk to me.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so we received a letter from a listener that one of our motivations for bringing back Listen or Lose today, and so I thought it would be nice if we read the letter on air and we got permission from the gentleman that sent it. So I'm going to read this, and then you'll know why we're bringing back Listen or Lose today, and maybe you can take part in this. So here we go. Dear Border Patrol, Jake, Stephen, and Nate. I was impressed that they included Nate, and so
yeah, me too.
Right.
Thank you.
Normally it's just normally it's just Jake.
Yeah.
Dear Jake.
Hey, founders.
Right. On Friday, November 9th, I'm hoping you guys could do my family a big favor. Simply get a picture of you three together holding a beverage of any kind and raising it up as if to say cheers to my brother Jake. Please post it on Twitter under the hashtag Take a Break for Jake. And it's Take a Break and then the number 4 and Jake. I'll explain the backstory. 3 years ago, on November 9th, 2015, my brother Jake Worthington was tragically taken from us at only 28 years old due to a terrible case of pneumonia that went septic. It was all very sudden. In fact, less than a week before, he was perfectly fine as he and I attended the World Series celebration at Union Station. And so this gentleman also sent me a picture, and he says, Jake is the one on the left on the picture that I'm tweeting you. We attended several playoff games together in 2014, had watch parties in 2015 during our World Series run, and had many, many great memories throughout his life. A lot of them revolved around sports. He actually drove back from Manhattan to meet me, my brother Jared, and my friend Phil to attend the wild card win versus Oakland. It was the greatest sports event I've ever attended. He then drove back through the night to get home, and then went to work in the morning after about an hour of sleep. He was an absolute diehard sports fan. We watched the Chiefs together almost every Sunday. We took vacation time to watch March Madness together, sometimes even going to Vegas. He loved his alma mater, K-State, especially in football and basketball. Just so many of my fondest memories of Jake involve sports. The reason I'm reaching out to you guys is just because one thing that'll always stand out to me is Jake and I texting back and forth while we were at our jobs saying, are you listening to Border Patrol right now? We should have been working, but usually we were laughing our asses off during your show when something hilarious would happen. On Fridays at about 9:30, I'd usually make sure to text him and say, Listen or Lose coming up soon. And then we'd usually text again afterwards talking about how funny the Danny sound bites were. You guys are must-listen radio, and my brother and I loved it. I still think fondly of St. Elmo's Fire because of you guys. So many amazing memories that it's hard to point out just a few. Thanks for giving us those moments that I'll always cherish. You know what, Jake? Fire up little St. Elmo's Fire. Anyways, I'll try to finish up here. Jake had so many friends and was always the life of the party. He always went out of his way to make sure everyone had a good time. So instead of being sad on the anniversary of his passing, we tried to celebrate him by doing what he loved to do. Have a beverage with friends and say cheers. So all of our friends will get on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, etc. and take a picture of themselves saying cheers to Jake and using the hashtag take a break for Jake. So please, Stephen, raise your Diet Dr. Pepper. Nate, raise your kale smoothie. And Jake Goody, raise your bone broth. And just take a minute to take a break for Jake on Friday morning, November 9th. It would sure mean a lot to our friends and family. No hard feelings if you don't. I know you guys get a lot of requests to do things, and you only have a small window of time to fit things in. I'll be a loyal listener to you guys for as long as you're on the air. Thanks for taking the time to read this. Keep up the great work. Sincerely, Jeff Worthington. And so, well, I'll just, and we'll all got to talk about this here. Man, it's just humbling that, you know, when you're remembering your brother and thinking about all the memories you have with your brother, that we're involved in that at any level. We're honored to you even think of us, and we're so happy that some of the good memories that you cherish involved laughing at our show or having fun with us, because that's, I think I can speak for all three of us, that's something that probably makes us feel better than anything else when someone comes up to us and says, hey, you made me laugh the other day on my way to work or school. You guys make us laugh. You put a smile on our face. That's what our number one goal is. We'd like to make people laugh and make people happy and, you know, put a smile on someone's face on their way to work or school or whatever you're doing in the morning. And so we're honored by that. We'll be glad to take the picture and post it. And we brought back Listen or Lose for at least today, and we'll probably do it moving forward. But for sure today, brought back a special Listen or Lose for your brother Jake. We'll dedicate it to him. And thank you very much for reaching out to us and sending us this letter. And we're just honored that we could be a part of honoring your brother, who sounds like he was an awesome guy, and we probably would have loved to have a drink with him, celebrating any one of those big games or big moments that you guys shared.
No doubt about that. I've got my kale smoothie here, so
Oh, boy.
I'll be ready to raise a toast
And what do I got?
to Jake. You got your Diet Dr. Pepper right there. Jake, you got any bone broth left over?
That's a silly question.
Yeah. 'Cause you already drank a whole pint of it this
Yeah, I
morning.
got another pint.
Barrel of
2 pints in the morning.
2 pints
sure
a
that's
morning
bone broth.
of the bone broth.
Don't worry about it.
You know, days like yesterday, we talked a little bit about the tragedy, the mass shooting in California, and how, you know, our show is lighthearted, silly. We try to give you some
Stupid.
good sports talk, be stupid,
Dumb.
make you laugh, hopefully, on your way to work. And there's a lot of times when I think about my friends that have actually really important jobs and do things that make the world a better place, and I feel like, well, what do? We just goof around and play grab ass in the mornings. And then you get an email like this, and it makes you feel like maybe we do at least help people out, brighten their day up a little bit when they're dealing with actual stuff that matters, real important stuff. And there's a bond there, and that's the best compliment anybody could ever pay us, is that we're a part of their life, you know. So that is incredibly humbling, and rest in peace, Jake. We dedicate this segment and the upcoming Listen or Lose to you, man.
Yeah, I mean, 28, it's just way too young to lose a brother. You know, myself having 2 brothers, I can't even start to imagine the devastating loss. The thing is that those awesome memories that you have, they'll always be there, and no one can take those away from you. And your brother's a part of your day every day. Every day. Whether you notice it or not, he is. And so it's interesting because there's times I get caught up in the minutia of this job, and everybody does, whatever they do for a living. You get caught up in it. And then just to have a moment of gratitude, because what we do, we're very lucky to do it. And for me, sometimes I get caught up like, am I really doing any good? You know, am I doing good in this world? What am I doing to give back?
I think about that all the time.
You know, and
About you, whether you're doing
Yeah,
good.
right. And you know, today I can say I'm doing a little bit better than I was a couple years ago. But you know, you wonder, you know, is my value to this planet? Am I doing good? Am I doing something worthwhile? And it's moments like this, and it's emails like this that for me give me confirmation. You know what? Maybe we're not as stupid as we think we are.
I don't know about that one.
And like I said, we think that, and then we're reset. And of course, we're stupid as we think we are.
No, but I think we're the lucky ones.
Absolutely.
For all of our listeners to allow us to be a part of your lives, and for you guys to take time out of your busy schedule just to listen to the show for 10 minutes or an hour, or not at all, like my wife. I still love her. And so, you know what, we'll take a break. And when we come back, we'll have a special edition of Listen or Lose. And since that was Jake Worthington's favorite segment, we dedicate it to Jake, and we'll take a break for Jake right now and then come back with Listen or Lose on Sports Radio 810 WHB. You're listening to The Border Patrol with Stephen St. John and Nate Bukaty on Sports Radio 810 WHB.